channel.
All right, yours is live. I see it. Sound is good.
Sound good.
And all right, we on.
All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. Like it all praise, honor, and glory to you.
Hawab Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Kakwadash.
Right now, prophecies are popping off the page, and on top of that, we're seeing a lot of so-called UFO sightings. I don't know if you brothers been watching. We're seeing a lot of chair sightings and stuff like that. So basically, the Lord give a okay to Yahushua and these chariots. All right, and these chariots, they waiting on the Lord's green light. All right, so go ahead. Yeah, because the Lord, you know what I'm saying, he's about to have his angels, you know what I'm saying, destroy this place. You know, and on top of that, he's going to nuclear missiles, right? Yeah, because there's been a lot of chariot sightings, man. And then it was one chariot, I don't know, that landed behind Gmsfortress house, I think in Phoenix. Yeah, they said they seen the big eyes, big head, and all that, and things, you know. But they saying that go ahead, bro.
They saying that they circulating those rumors that NASA is redacting all of this documents concerning UFO sightings and all around the world that they've reported, because they so-called have remnants of UFO vehicles, things like that, which is a lie. But the whole thing is that the Lord had that whole spirit coming back around again because He's visiting the earth.
That's right.
Multiple locations, you know. That's why the scripture said that the Lord's eyes are 10 times brighter than the sun. You know, so this place is always being watched. You know.
I got that in English.
Real quick, Zechariah 5:1. It says, "Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying robe."
Right. This is Zechariah, right? Zechariah, you know, he basically he identified a chariot, the so-called UFO that they right there called it. All right.
It says, "Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying robe."
The flying robe representation of a chariot, so-called UFO, that the prophets seen back then over like 3,000 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So the flying robe, he's basically seeing we call it a flying saucer.
Yep, it used to be called.
A flying robe is a chariot, man. It's a so-called UFO, right?
Or this.
Yeah, right.
And he said unto me, "What seest thou?" And I answered, "I see a flying robe. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits.
Right. He's telling the measurements, the width, the length of the chariot. You know what I'm saying? Because chariot's been out for Lord, how long? You know what I'm saying? Since Israel was led out of captivity. You know.
It says, "Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth."
Right. This is the curse that goes over the face of the whole earth. All right. So this is the curse that Esau, man, and these other nations, man. But it's a blessing to the elect.
The chariot supplies us salvation. It's for the other nation to get dismayed at these chariots, because the chariots represent their destruction.
That's right.
You know?
Gotta research. I mean, this could be like a late scripture too, but this is 2nd Ezra chapter 13, and I'm gonna just start at verse 1. Right. It says, "And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof into the sea." It says, "And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven," which those are the thousands of heaven, is talking about all the chariots. Right? The host, the Lord is called the Lord of hosts, so it was a whole host, a multitude of chariots.
7th chapter, and it says that he came with his chariots.
They had two multitudes.
He came with a multitude.
It says, and when he turned, it says, and that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, which that man is to the world, Jesus Christ, which is Yahweh, all right, which is coming to destroy this place. It says, and when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. All right, and that's actually going into, it's going to say it even more, but the laser beams that came out of the chariots.
Concentrated heat.
Yeah, the concentrated heat. Because when it hears the voice of what? It says, and after this I beheld it alone, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
Yeah, so that's the world army. Because think about it, yeah, you have countries separating themselves from each other. You got BRICS, you got NATO, you got the EU. You know, those are 3 separate organizations. But when you think about it, there are multiple countries that are a part of all 3 of those organizations. You know, so eventually, those 3 fighting forces, those 3 organizations are going to come together, especially to fight Yahweh Shah. Because it's like Revelation 12. Yeah.
Yep.
Michael the archangels, you know, Satan, his angels fought. That's going into the technology, the weaponry and all that. So that's what it's talking about right here, where it says that they came to subdue the man that came out of the sea. There's going to be a fight. And like the brother said earlier, that's because destruction's coming to this place. They know when them clouds, or when the skies crack, when they see the host of these, which is what they always call UFOs, that's when they know their destruction's right there. So they're going to try to. The only logical thing they're going to have to do is to fight.
Yeah.
All right.
It's going to be in the midst of the Valley of Jehoshaphat, Armageddon. So in the midst of this third world woe, or this third great death, or this World War III, they're going to have to see. You're going to see a threat that's greater than each other, and they're going to be forced to fight that threat. You know.
Specialists, right? To fight the shot. It actually says in the next verse. It says, "But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew upon it."
Whoa, man, that's the size of the big chariot. But they call it the mothership. It's not a goddamn mothership. It's a fathership.
Right.
That's the biggest chariot that he's going to be on, man. All right?
Like imagine the sky being blacked out by a chariot, man. You can't even really imagine that. That's how long you gotta look. The naked eye, man, you know?
It goes back to that movie, Independence Day. With Will Smith. When that chariot came out the sky, it's like that same size as that. He's going to cover the whole earth.
That's a smaller size.
That's
you know?
small, yeah.
It says, and he had graved himself a great mountain, still talking about Yahweh Shah, and flew upon it. It says, but I would have seen the region or place whereof the hill was graven, and I could not.
Right. So when you look at a mountain, you have a mountain. In the scriptures, mountain represents governments, right? Where they represent actual physically mountains. But here it's talking about a chariot. How you know it? Because you can't find out what the mountain that it was taken from. And mountains don't fly.
Right.
You know. So think about how huge this chariot is. The scripture said, "Every eye shall see it." You know. How's every eye gonna see him if they're looking at the speck? You know. And plus, you're gonna have media outlets, you know, chronicling these events. You know, so all over the internet. So everybody's going to see the return of the Yahweh Shah.
That's right.
You know, one way or another.
I'll get that real quick, because it actually talks about the chariot. That's all it's about.
Well, they have body cams on their military have body cams on their vests now.
It says right here in the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 7 says, and behold, he cometh with clouds.
Right, he's coming with clouds. Not an actual cloud. The chariot's going to reappear out the cloud.
Yeah, like Independence Day.
Like Independence Day.
When they came out that cloud folding itself in the fire. And one of the proof of that is when you go into different languages, like you go into the language of Spanish, you look for the word cloud, and the word in Spanish is nube. And that word nube translated back into Spanish means spaceship.
But it says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him.
Every eye. Which means a multitude of people all over this earth are going to see the return of the Lord. That's right.
That's what time we are.
That's what time we are. And then, like I was just mentioning when we first started, there's been a lot of chariot sightings been popping up out of nowhere.
says, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail.
It said, and also they which pierced him. Now, how are the men that pierced Yahweh 2,000 years ago gonna see him?
Right?
You know? That means it's something called reincarnation. Those men are gonna be back on the earth today, and the Lord is going to torment those men. You know, the Lord, like you know that song. I called it nigga, but that song, "Get It Back in Blood." The scriptures say the blood is gonna be up to the horse's bridle, man. The Lord is going to destroy these people, especially those two.
It says, thought it was going to sign on the head. It says, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. And that also lets you know that the spirit of vengeance is in the Lord, not happy go times and greetings and salutations, man. It is to destroy you, though. You know, it says that in Jeremiah 50 that the day of their visitation is come. Okay? But I'm gonna go back to 2nd Ezra 13. 2nd Ezra 13 and I'm gonna start verse 7 again. It says, but I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight. Hey, read that part. Again, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid.
All that they gathered together to subdue him, so afraid. Those are all the military. You got your Navy, you got your Army, you got your
Space Force. That's the one that was actually made for the chariots because of the chariot signs. We actually brought this out last week in camp. And yeah, I ain't gonna look. You know that's the spirit, because I literally at the lake this morning. This is my lesson. Literally, this is my lesson. Literally, this was my lesson today. But
it says that all they which were gathered together to subdue him, they're trying to get at the chariots, man. Look, chariots don't go like this. They zigzag.
In the 5 laws,
right.
They know where to
right.
Exactly.
You know how a queen is on a chessboard?
Right.
That's how the chariots of the Lord move. Any direction. Right.
It says, again, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. Yeah, because they're going to be scared as hell when they see all these chariots, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be scared as hell when they see how we shot. But the Lord's going to put the spirit on these military specialists, man, to fight them.
That's right.
That proves that there's no free will. And he's only going to do that just to show his power. That's it.
Just like he did with Pharaoh.
Yeah.
It says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire.
Blast of fire was that concentrated laser thing.
That's a cold scene.
You know? Right? It's another movie with what's his name? Sean Penn. I don't know. When the chariots came back and they zapped people and turned them into ashes. War of the Worlds.
Oh, you're talking about Tom Cruise.
I'm not good with Hollywood motherfuckers. You know? So yeah, it's gonna be something similar to that. Yeah.
They got that in the scripture.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. It tells you right here. It says, well, even the second, I can get that one too, but the second, the 16th chapter, it said it is the Lord that threatened it, and who shall not utterly be beaten to powder, and turn you to dust, ash. It says, but I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And so also here's something to keep in mind, that these are words that are spoken out of scripture, but letting you know this is on its way.
And on top of that, the Lord gave the prophets the vision what is going to take place in the future. Right? What's going to take place in the future. So the prophet seen these events. That's going to take place. So Lord willing, we see these events that's going to take place in this time.
That's right.
It says that out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together. So these lasers were going off like crazy. You know, just shooting, zapping all over the place. And it says, and they were all mixed together,
the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up everyone so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid.
You know when you burn like a countertop, there's that black spot that's left.
Woo.
The people gonna be their ashes gonna be engraved in the earth.
The Lord gonna play with y'all ass like a video game.
Right. This is Zechariah, back in Zechariah 5:3. It says, "Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth."
These chairs are cursed. Esau brings other nations. But it's a blessing of us. Like you just mentioned, it's salvation for us.
It says,
Precept.
"For every one that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and every one that sweareth shall be cut off on that side according to it."
Yeah, Esau steal. He steal all the countries. Alright? He put so-called Latinos, blacks and Americans in slavery, man.
He stole his whole land. Stole everything. Claimed everything for himself. And then he pushes out, the teaching that everything starts with his discovery. No, because I'm looking up like where they cut, like how far they go back to certain things, certain breeds, and they're using white people's names to make a claim that that's where they were discovered and that's where they were originally bred. Esau trying to claim everything. He's a thief. What's the lie?
I will, no, that was a good. It says, "I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name."
That's where it comes by my name. Being whitewashed. He made the angels white. He made the Lord white. He made the prophets white. You know what I'm saying? It's called iconoclasm. You know what I'm saying? So he did all this wicked shit. You know, I'm paying back for that.
It says, "And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it. And shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof." So this place is gonna be consumed, man. Not only by the nuclear fire, but by the chariots as well.
That's right.
So the judgment is gonna be, it's gonna be never before seen, or never seen before. Judgment.
This is Matthew chapter 10 and verse 34. It says, "And think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword."
Yeah, this was that fight. The Lord said he ain't gonna come with he ain't coming with gladness. Yeah, get the out shot. Read that part again.
It says again, "Think not that I am come to send peace on earth."
Right, he said, think not.
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. It says, "I came not to send peace, but a sword." It says, how you know it's talking about the abyssal now is because we have in the scriptures where the Lord or the prophets would identify abyssal as a glittering sword or a glittering spear. So that's how we know the Lord came to send, fire. I know that says like in Luke, like one will life had already been kindled. The Lord, you don't understand that the Lord thousands of years ago already wanted to destroy this place. And in fact, if you look at the measurements of time, the earth should have already been judged. But the Lord has measures, for appointed times, which He scheduled these things out. You got to schedule with death, But He came to send fire, thermonuclear fire. It says, "For I am come to set a man." Oh, Salaka, let me read that again. It says, "Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword." Yeah. Is that where you want me to stop? Yeah. Stop.
But yeah, stop and break up family.
All right, go ahead. I'll do it. It says, "For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foe shall be of his own household."
Learn to everybody against each other. Everybody waxing cold. But the Lord will come back with vengeance. That's the main point. Right? book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 49. It says, I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I, if it be already kindled?
What would I already think? It's going to be in the midst of it. So we're going to add more fire to the problem. That's what's going to happen. The Lord said he's going to send fire on earth. This ain't love. Right? These churches speaking this love doctrine and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said he's going to send fire. Right? He said, where would I be? Where would I be?
It says, and what will I, if it be already kindled?
Yeah, it's going to be already fire. It's already going to be, everything's going to be perfect. Fire. Add more fire than the chariots. Don't forget about the chariots. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a blazing, it's going to be a blazing day.
We're going to return in the midst of World War III.
Yeah.
That's why Ronald Reagan back in 1986, when he was talking to the UN Council, he said not they put aside their differences, nations, that there was basically alien threats from outside this world.
Yeah, hey, and guess what? This place is Facebook, so-called alien. Right. Yeah, I made that comment. Prophets of the Lord are correct, yeah. We're part of the eyes and the watch, you know, on this place. We've seen, we've gathered intel, let the Lord know. This place is, it needs to be destroyed.
Yeah.
You know?
So we came and did recon on the planet.
Yeah, the eyes of the Lord upon the sinful kingdom. Yeah, this is the eyes of the Lord. This is the eyes of the Lord, ain't it? Right? This is a sinful kingdom right here. But, hey, Jack is a sinful ass kingdom too, right?
You know, another level. The eyes of the Lord are the prophets. We're angels too. Angel means minister. Message.
You got something?
Kind.
Go ahead, bring it out.
Proverbs 15:3. The eyes of the Lord Yahweh are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. This is my precept, bro.
Bro, beholding the evil. We looking at everything.
That's right.
He beholding the evil and the good. You know? He give account. He take account of evil and good on this earth. You know? You got an aim, right? Every account what everybody doing on this earth. He's bringing it back to your house.
That's right.
So then especially Esau. He got a rap shit like a motherfucker.
And so we don't the things that we find out, the things that we bring out to the Holy Spirit, we still don't even know everything that this man is doing.
Yep.
But the Lord sees all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see them trying to justify they're trying to justify this Edomite thing within the last couple of days. He's being charged for sexual assault for releasing his liquid into a woman's coffin for over a year.
Oh, I think that.
And now they're fucking saying that he has a medical condition which forces him to release it in the toilet. What the fuck does coffee have to do with that? How do you make coffee in the bathroom? You know? Esau is profane, man. I was talking to our brother about this before.
That's what we heard.
Yeah. He's profane, man. Like the brother said, there's a lot of shit you don't know that this man will fucking do. And he's trying to, man, it's gross.
That's grotesque.
It is. It is. You know? I got something from Isaiah. This is Isaiah chapter 66. In verse 15, it says, for behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind. The fire, the chariots going to take place in the fire. Take place shooting them laser things. Well, what was that? There was the War of the Worlds movie. There was a scene where the chariot came out of the fire. You remember?
No, that was Independence Day.
No. It was.
Are you talking about
when Tom Cruise's kid, the boy.
Oh yeah.
When you go up to see the fight.
And then it just appeared.
Yeah,
You hear the
came out
board
the fire.
boom.
Yeah. Man, y'all, man, like the brothers going into, man, like y'all don't understand what you're doing, man. Y'all about to fight something and try to stand in that day against something that you have absolutely no power against, man. You are a worm. Yeah. It says, "For behold, the Lord," and right there, the Lord, it's all caps. So it's Yahweh.
That's right.
Yep. Will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. Right, the Lord's going to rebuke this place with fire. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said, there ain't going to be no talking.
The scripture says, Yahweh is consuming fire.
it says again that to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. It says, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord Yahweh plead with all flesh. All flesh. Matter of fact, I'm going to plead with to deal with
Call him like about Shema Shai. Right on the ambulance.
I was about to say, that's what you want to eat. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Danger, sound the alarm.
That's right. That's the trumpet.
That's exactly what it is. We sound the alarm, man. Well, that's spirit. It even says bell right there. That's what a bell is an alarm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to read this while you get what they're looking for. It says again, by fire and by his sword, or the Lord Yahweh plead with all flesh. And to plead basically means to strike a deal or a bargain with. So that's the bargain. That's the deal. I mean, there's already too much blood. The scriptures talk about that there's that this is a land full of bloody crimes and violence. All right, there's too much blood, too much wickedness that's been put on this earth for there to be any type of remedy except destruction through nuclear fire. Mm-hmm. The Lord needs to bring fire to purge this place. Mm-hmm. You got more than just our wickedness. You got diseases. All right, those need to be burned up in this place. It's just a foul vibration. Mm-hmm. Even the beasts of the field got to pay because Esau has been sporting them. So that's why it says that for by fire and by his sword will the Lord Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord Yahweh shall be many.
Not one soul will be alive. Except the elect. The elect will get beamed up.
Alright, I got this up. You got to this.
Oh, you got the word? Hold on.
Gonna bring that word out.
This is Strong's H8199. And the word is shapat. Shapat. It says a primitive root to judge, pronounce sentence, for or against, by implication, to vindicate or punish, by extension, to govern, passively, to litigate, literally or figuratively, avenge,
So that's plead, right? Mm-hmm. Go ahead, keep reading.
that condemn, contend, defend, execute judgment, be a judge, and in judgment, it says needs, plead, reason, rule.
Well, the word I was looking at the word litigate. That's to enforce. That's to make a court matter. So, because you got the world trying to deny the charges, mainly Esau. Well, all right, well let's bring it to a federal case. You got something. I can't remember. It's like civil. Then you got federal. To litigate something, you bring it to a federal case. All right, well, Esau is being brought before federal charges, like Yahweh Shai, so to speak. All right, and so he's gonna plead. Well, all right, if you're so damn righteous, if you ain't done nothing wrong, this missile ain't gonna hurt you, or you're gonna be saved. I already know that Esau, the world is not gonna be saved. They're gonna be destroyed by them with nuclear fire.
That's why in Amos it says for the transgressions of Esau, Edom. And it listed the transgressions against the Lord. It's lucky.
It's like, the Lord has been giving brothers visions. He gave me a vision. And it was millions of warheads coming out up on the ground through those silos. You know what I'm saying? And then also too, like overhead, it was everywhere, man. This place is being destroyed. You know?
That was your vision.
Huh? Yeah.
You posted in the chat. That's exactly what's gonna take place, man. A lot of people running around here smiling, hungry, having a good time, and shit like that. But they don't know what's coming to this place, man. That's the reason why the Lord got his prophets outside, prophesying and warning.
You got a bunch of Edomites posing for, I guess, a wedding, right?
Yeah.
They so happy, man.
All the jackasses getting married over here. I was like,
Yeah, that's why I say Father said great dignity. You know what I'm saying? Great dignity is this place.
You got that word, fruition, which that's something that's going to come into play real soon. When
when all that fallen shit is cut immediately by the sudden destruction that comes, like the Lord said, you know, that's when it's going to come into fruition. You're going to fully realize what was being said, you know, but it's going to be too late to do anything about it. A lot of you people, man, like the pleading, man, your judgment's been set for the longest time. You know, we're just telling the world, let them get ready, storing up that judgment, all right? Letting the Lord know, like, all right, he ain't getting better, he ain't turning, she, you know. Now we just speak now, like the scripture said, we just watch now. How I said it. Therefore I send to you, I send to all, watch. Just wait. See what's going to happen. Even Apostle Harvey made a mention about, you know, the names, so to, you know, Salaka. But, you know, he said, well, you got guys that, you know, preaching the name of Jesus and demons come off of them. Okay, cool. Name of Yahweh, cool. We'll just see at the end of the day. That's how it's going to be with, you know, the whole world with judgment. We'll just see. You know, so we'll watch. Wait.
So wait, before the missiles hit, it's going to be martial law. It's going to be famine. Right? It's going to be evil upon evil. Right? People going to go against each other. You know what I'm saying? The love of many shall wax cold. You know what I'm saying? The love of many waxing cold. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the chip. Don't forget about the chip. Okay? The sea hill. Right? So everything's going to take place before the missiles hit. Not just the missiles going to hit and that's it. No, something's going to take place.
It's the 2nd Ezra 15 and 11. It says, but I will bring them as the elect, with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before. But like the brother was mentioning, all these, you know, it's not going to just be the missiles and that's it. Bang, you know, judgment comes. There's going to be a lot of culminating events that lead up to the destruction of America. Esau, your 2/3. You know, like that's why it says in Amos about the day of the Lord, it is darkness, not light, because as a commanded lay his hand on a lion or put his hand on the wall and the serpent bit him, you know, he met a lion and a bear. It's going to be worst case scenarios up until that point. And if you by chance make it out of one of these, you know, perils, I mean, that's only just to get you to the missiles. The missiles are the ultimate defining judgment. What it says, but again, I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before.
Yeah, smite Egypt with plagues as before. Now, when you look at American modern day Egypt, is the place of bondage. It said the plagues of Egypt as before. So all those plagues, the rivers of blood, the locusts, the darkness, the flies, oh yeah, the locusts, the lights,
frogs.
You know, the frogs. All of that's gonna come back, man.
And the pitch blackness.
Yeah, the darkness, the apparitions. All of that's gonna be back, man.
See, it's apparitions. Have you ever seen like a tall, like
on the internet?
Have you ever seen a tall, like tall as this tree right here?
Oh, shadow.
Got a long ass arms like this.
Strong man.
Yeah. You know, look, like you mentioned, apparitions, right? You're gonna be seeing strange demons roaming these streets, man, at that time, bro. Right. So the Lord is gonna basically unleash these apparitions, man, on earth. All right. You're gonna be seeing some shit you never seen. Look, it's gonna be a time you're gonna be walking. You're gonna see a lady. Her head gonna turn behind her head, behind her back, looking. That's the stuff the Lord is gonna do, man.
You
know, the Lord saying what? He created darkness, not light.
Right. Yep. Praise Spirit.
Because the Lord, hey man, look, understand the portals, man. They in the portals, man. He finna let these things out the portals.
Well, that's what's already been primed to happen because of CERN and the hydrogen particle accelerator. They're trying to tap into the spirit world and open up the portals, man. And Esau has no idea what kind of vibrations releasing to the world.
Well, he thinks it's his friend too.
Yeah.
Well, what you got over there in Chicago, they call it Chicago the #1 city in America to experience the most paranormal activity. So it's a precursor to what's really going to be going on all the time. Again, the plagues, the calamities, the woes, destructions, all of that's going to be a normal thing in America. It's going to be the norm. It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm.
The blue bag.
Black. And smite Egypt with plague. And here's another thing. What's Egypt today? What the fuck are they doing? So,
Right.
they're not the ones causing issues on the planet today.
Right.
Nobody talks about Egypt, so that's how you know it's talking about something else. You know, like the apostles brought out, brothers were bringing out that you can go on Google right now and type up who is modern day Babylon, and it will tell you America, the daughter of Babylon.
All types of scholars will pop up. All types of scholars. Even the white man knows that this is Egypt. You got scholars from Egypt, archaeologists from Egypt that are excavating all those relics. They know that this is modern day Egypt. You know, modern day Babylon. You know, modern day Rome. You know, so if the scholars see it, you know, in Hollywood they're making productions about it. How come you people don't see it?
So you understand we got omelets, like the omelets in Egypt.
Yeah.
The same omelet where Martin Luther King has preaching in. Same spot.
There's one in New York. The name of that park, that famous park. There's an omelet there. Central Park in New York City.
You know, I think it's a city built under that. Central Park in New York. Oh, shit, fuck that. You know what we do?
Like a.
I was about to say.
All right, back in second Esdras 15 and 11, it says, and I will smite Egypt with plagues as before. Part of those plagues is going to be the mysteries we were talking about.
That's the main plague.
The curse and the plague, the chariots. And I will destroy all, Salakia, again, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Doesn't the Lord say he's going to utterly empty out the land of Babylon and make it desolate? Or even says Esau as well. Right? So all these culminating events again is going to be, you know, helping fulfill those future prophecies we're talking about and warning you for. It says, and Egypt shall mourn. You ain't even warning the wicked anymore. You're only warning the elect.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, really, man. It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. It says, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail with a fearful constellation.
Yeah, that fearful constellation is number 55.
Right? It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh.
So when you look into the scriptures, like it says in Ezekiel 33, it's written there in limitations more than woe. All these scriptures that we've been reading you is talking about nothing but woe, which is mysteries, you know, and calamities that are coming upon the earth. Why? Because of the pride, because of the lack of respect towards the Most High and His Son. That's why these things are happening. That's why these things are going to start, or already are beginning to happen in the world, man. You know, assuming the second Ezra 9th chapter, and it's going to get worse. There's going to be blackouts. There's going to be more chemical spills. You know, there's going to be more crime and rape that's happening. Rape. There's going to be more things that are going to happen on the earth, man. Preachers are going to get released from the zoos. Prisoners are going to get released from prison. You know, it's going to be nothing but pandemonium and chaos. And this is all while these things are happening.
This is Ezekiel 7 and 14. It says, they have blown the trumpet.
Start at 5.
Okay. Verse 5.
You can jump, but that's
I'm going to jump down to it. Ezekiel 7 and 5 says, thus says the Lord Yahweh power, and evil, and only evil, behold, is come.
See, the Lord is saying that evil is coming. So when you look at the word evil, that word evil goes back to the Hebrew rod, which means a bad time, or a misery, you know. So the Lord said there's an evil that's going to come. That don't sound like rose petals. That don't sound like salvation for everybody, vocab. That don't sound like everybody gets to make it. The Lord said He's going to bring an evil.
Start from verse 1.
Okay.
Ezekiel 7 and 1 says, moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, also thou son of man, thus saith the Lord, power unto the land of Israel, and the end is come upon the four corners of the land. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send mine anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways.
See, the Lord is going to send anger and judge according to the ways. Now the ways are wicked, because the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, is being worshipped. Now, first to Israel, because the scripture said that judgment shall start in the house of Israel first. But the rest of the world has taken on this heathenistic mindset of not worshiping the Lord. And you have Jake everywhere, you know? So not only to punish Jake, but to punish the rest of the world. Go ahead.
It says, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. And mine eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity. But I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abominations shall be in the midst of thee.
Yeah, so the ways and the recompense of the ways and the abomination is to define the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord, man. You know? All of the abominations floating around in the world, starting with the alphabet, starting with eating abominable foods, man. Adultery.
Forget where it said that they declared their sin as Sodom.
Isaiah 13.
Yeah, get somebody grab that. And then get Revelation 11 and 8.
I got Isaiah. I got Revelation. This is Isaiah chapter 3.
Because when you go into the beginning of Ezekiel 7, it's talking about Israel. That's why I said start from verse 1, because it lets you know who he's speaking to. It said the end is near, meaning destruction is going to happen to Jacob because of what? Their great pride. And as I said as well, is he's gonna judge them by their ways. Well, Jake declared their sin in Sodom, not just being moles, but the idol worship.
Yeah.
Because they idol worship. All right, Jake is in all type of manner of different religions, different philosophies in this world, and they take on a lot of customs of the heathens. All right, and then they go further than the heathens. All right, go ahead.
It says Isaiah 3 and verse 9. It says, the shoe of their countenance doth witness against them, and they declare the sin as Sodom, they hide it not.
Yeah, so they don't hide the gods and the belief system that they have, because you have something called the internet. And on the internet, you can post whatever the fuck you want to post. See, on the internet, you would know what Jake is thinking. You know, a woman wants to have multiple men, she will put that thought on there. That's why the scripture says every idle word. Jake gets on there talking about the Most High. Alright, all that's getting recorded, every idle word. See, people, Oprah Winfrey, they have an agenda to make people believe in other gods. They have an agenda to say there's another way to get to the kingdom of heaven other than the Messiah. You know? So what's being recorded is the mindset of Jake. Alright, the scripture says that the heart is desperately wicked. So we're seeing the wickedness that's coming out of Jake's mind. And you know what? In fact, get what cometh out of the mouth to follow the man. Because it's the same thing as you writing it on your posts, your social media posts. That's what he says is coming from the heart. Evils, adulteries, all those things are being recorded. Worshiping Buddha, Allah, atheism. So Jake's conversations is being recorded, and the Lord has set them up by the internet. Okay, go ahead. Because the thing is, no one knew what all these people fucking thought about and felt about the Lord and God and things like that. So the Lord said Esau put the internet so you can express yourself. And that's how Jake is getting caught up in Okie, though. That's why these niggas are dying. Alright? The scripture says life and death is in the power of the tongue. Alright? Go ahead.
I'm going to start up a verse real quick because it links up with what you're saying. Isaiah 3 and 8 says, for Jerusalem is ruined and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against the Lord.
See?
To provoke the eyes of his glory.
And that's what's happening. They're provoking the Lord right now. They're provoking them by what they're saying out of their mouths. Okay, they declare their sin of Sodom, meaning they openly worship and sacrifice gods and deities. Idris Damson, whatever his name is, he openly said that he prayed to Satan, prayed to the devil, so he could fulfill that lot in the road, which we already knew that, but what's happening is it's being recorded and being tracked. Because all these things were quote-unquote mysteries and conspiracies. So,
and he's showing it to be real.
but now, exactly, the Lord is revealing the secrets of the inner workings of you people. All right. Lil Uzi Vert, he said, I turned a good girl to believing in Satan or something like that, to believe in the devil. Okay?
Oh, that name is actually, when you say it fast, it's Lucifer.
Yeah, supposedly, it's Lucifer. That's crazy. But those are the powers that be that pays Jake off to sell their souls, man. You know? So y'all got something else?
I got something for sure. Matthew 15, right?
Well, get to Matthew 15 and then get what you got.
This is Matthew 15 and 17. It says, do not eat, yet understand that whatsoever enters in at the mouth goeth into the belly, and it cast out into the drop. But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart.
See, it comes from the heart, meaning it comes from the mind. All right? You think it, and then you act upon it first by verbalizing. You talk about adultery, it's like you talk about adultery, you're going to go commit adultery. You talk about sleeping with other men's women in your songs, and you post it up on just be a side nigga and be a side dude. You know, let her do her thing with her man, but then you always go to the side. You speak it, then you do the actions on the shit. You know? So all that's being recorded by the Heavenly Father. By the way, the angels, because y'all spoke about earlier, y'all spoke, somebody brought up the scripture.
Eyes of the Lord.
No.
Eyes of the Lord in all places. Yep.
Just because that's the angels. All right? The angels is recording everything that man is doing on earth. All right? And those that's of the nation of Israel, the Lord will fuck y'all up.
That's right.
That's why Ezekiel 7, it said the end is near, the end is near. He was talking about Jacob. All right? So get some more of that Ezekiel 7, so hold them all on deck. Go ahead.
Back in Matthew 15, let's start at 18, he said, but those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, right? And they defile the man.
And that's what's defiling them. Go ahead.
For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts.
See? Go ahead.
Murders,
Right?
adulteries,
Yep.
fornications, thefts, false witness, blasphemy.
And that's what Jake doing all over the net.
Yep.
That's what they're doing all over the internet. You got the little girl, I can't think of her name. She ain't a little girl no more. She was the famous little, she had the 2 sisters. I forgot her last name was McCain or something like that. But anyway, a little pretty ass little chick. She had 3 little sisters, the older one, the younger one, and then like the middle one, whatever. They was doing the movie with Tyler Perry. But she was coming out and she was speaking on all of the evil workers of the industry that she kept on coming up against. She was telling them what they're doing and she was like breaking it down. You know, how in the ways that they try to manipulate you into believing in Satan and not believing in the Most High. You know? So what's happening is the Lord is revealing this place. He's uncovering the skirts of Esau, Edom, and what in doing that, he's revealing the skirts back from Jake too. Because you're gonna find out that a lot of Israelites like the way this fucking system is being ran. They like this demonic gas kingdom and empire.
You know, that's a spirit, because I was thinking about today when I was getting ready for camp. The spirit was like, Jake love it.
Yeah.
Jake love it. Like,
Yeah, well,
right?
Drake said, I don't see heaven being much better than this.
That's why they get offended about what we talk about.
That's why they get offended on what we talking about, because we come with righteousness. Somebody get real quick Isaiah, what is it, 5:20? Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
It's like the Lord, we're against this kingdom.
Exactly. And then get John 19. I believe it's John 19. This is the condemnation.
3:19.
3 and 19. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20. It says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
Yep. So destruction unto them that call evil good. Now the alphabet crew, that's evil, and they call it good. Pedophilia. They got something called what is it, Nambula, or Mambula, Man Boy Lover Association. You see? Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. This is good, but they call what we doing is evil. They call what we doing is witchcraft. They call what we doing vain. You know? But sleeping with your best friend's woman, sacrificing to Satan, you know, being a mo, being a transformer, being effeminate, See, they shunning actual men. They call it toxic masculinity now. So now we're ashamed for speaking our mind to the wickedness that women is toxic masculinity. That's why this place gotta go. There's a lot of reasons why the Lord has pronounced judgment on this place. Okay?
There's no accountability.
You should say something?
No, I just, I seen a video yesterday of a dude going around asking Israelite women what type of man they like. A lot of these women, these nasty bitches, were saying that they like to, mess with transmissions. They said they're a lot more fun. It's fucking gross, man.
Yep.
Rampant,
Yeah, the woman is a fucking wild beast, like Esau.
Yep.
The black woman specifically.
It says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
But when you go out of town, you gotta get you a different race. You gotta get you a white bitch. Them black bitches out of town, they didn't set on every fucking rod they come across when they go out of town. So when you see bitches that come here or I'm from out of town, it ain't even good to fuck with them because they doing the same thing from different states out of town. Weekly. These hoes, they go out and kick it different states weekly. They kick it weekly.
Hot girl something.
Every fucking weekend these bitches is out. All summer. That a new term is called outside.
Outside.
We outside. The new term is outside. You know? So these bitches, now the scriptures tell you that not to give a woman what is it, license to gather abroad.
Liberty to gather abroad.
Well, these women is outside. They got the liberty. So everything is contrary to the words of Yahweh Shai on order. That's why there's no order here. What is it? Psalms says that the foundation of the earth is out of course. So if the foundation of the earth is out of course, that's a effect on the entire world. That's an effect on the air. That's an effect on the food, the water. That's an effect on the people. Effect on relationships. You know? That's an effect on the entire planet.
And it's a perverse spirit. But it says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put forth darkness for light and light for darkness.
Yeah, darkness for light and light for darkness. What's darkness? We've been explaining it. The way of this world is darkness. Okay? Everything about this place is darkness. I just watched Matrix over here, man. And it showed you that the Matrix is a different world, man. You know? When Morpheus showed Neo what the world really looked like on the TV, it was dead.
You see that report or the article? There was an Edomite, this millionaire Edomite that is apparently injecting himself with his son's blood. But the way that they put it on the article to make it promote it or the cool thing is it said millionaire father injected himself with his own son's blood. Cool. With the exclamation point. Cool. Yeah. They make that shit seem fucking acceptable.
Yes.
That's dope.
And it says so he can feel like he's still young and try to. Yeah, I read
But
that.
that's some wicked shit, man. It says
Yeah. Cool, meaning you should do it too.
Yeah.
It's witchcraft.
Exactly.
It's like when they put up smoking, the little billboards. They live. Somebody smoking and looking all cool and shit on the poster is to draw you to do what they do.
Obey.
Yeah, obey.
It says that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Yeah, and this is America, man. This goes back to amadigo, which means bitter. So they what they say? Put sugar on shit. It's still shit. It's still shit. America's still shit. They trying to sweeten up this shithole. By the way of their entertainment, by the way of their grand circuses. But this place is circling the drain. This place is shit. Women, the men, the earth, the atmosphere, the air, the water, the food, the clothes, the mindset. All this is shit. Go ahead.
It says, woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight.
Yep, do what thou wilt.
It says, woe unto them that are minded to drink wine, and men of strength to mingle strong drink, which justify the wicked for reward and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. It says, therefore,
Yeah, because of the philosophies of the world. That's what it's doing. By the philosophies and this new, see what's happening is Esau's putting out his image. You know, he's promoting that image of the beast. So, with this lifestyle. You know, going back to the Roman Empire, the ancient Roman Empire. Right? And he's gonna get you to bow down to that image, which is ultimately you could say just the new world order. The acceptance of this democracy, the acceptance of this new way of life, decadence, this transhumanism, this singularity, this man versus machine, this fourth industrial revolution. Go ahead.
It says, therefore, as the fire devoureth the stubble, and the flame consumeth the chaff, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust. You know, you look at the root. That's where you gotta uncover that.
The beginning.
You gotta dig it up too. But you were saying about earlier the skirt being lifted up. You gotta dig it to get the root out. So we're discovering that. It says, therefore, is the anger of the Lord kindled against Salaki. Therefore, as the fire devoureth the stubble, and the flame consumeth the chaff, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust. Because they have cast away the law of the Lord of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. And that's what matters in this place. That's what always mattered, was the word of Yahweh Basham Shah.
And how do they despise it?
Sacrificing, idolatry.
Well, they first and foremost, they neglect the prophets. Because we telling them what to do. I mean, we telling them the right way. You know? So when they despise the word of the Heavenly Father, they do it in the form of rejecting the prophets. Proverbs, the first chapter, they do it in the form of coming up against the prophets. Not taking heed. Everyone in this camp has spoken to a family member, a friend, a woman, a father, a mother, a aunt, an uncle. Right? And once they reject it, they're going to tell the other family members on how to reject it. Once your friend ain't dealing with it, they'll tell another friend, oh, this nigga crazy. So they reject it. See? And it just goes on down the line. Then when they upload the YouTube video, they take our clips and snippets of what we say, and they post them up on social media, and then you got 1 million people talking shit. That's them rejecting the word of the Heavenly Father. They ain't got to be in front of us to reject it. They'll see a clip of the Hebrew Israelites, and they'll just reject it.
They take what you say out of context.
I'm trying to look for a scripture real quick. Go ahead.
John chapter 3, verse 19. It says, and this is the condemnation, that light is coming to the world. And men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil.
Yeah, that's beginning with Yahweh Shah. He was that light. You can read that in John, the first chapter. This is the condemnation. The condemnation meaning what? Judgment. This is the judgment that Yahweh Shah is coming to the world. Alright, go ahead.
It says, and men love darkness rather than light.
Yeah, and men love darkness rather than light. And he was born, going to Isaiah 60th chapter. The gross darkness of the people, meaning the mindset of Israelites is totally far from the light of the Bible, which is Yahweh Shah. Alright?
It says, because their deeds were evil.
Yep.
For everyone that doeth evil hated the light.
Yep.
Now that cometh to the light,
Right?
lest his deeds should be reproved.
Yeah, see, Jake don't want to get corrected because Big Mama talked through some shit 50 years ago, and that stands over what the Heavenly Father says. That's why this is that's why it's meant for certain men and women to get it, not everybody. Because it spoke about in Colossians that this was a mystery that was hidden for ages. So when Big Mama was alive, back in the early 60s, she was taught that dogma. And then she taught it to your grandmother, 70s, or whatever, 50s to the 60s to the 70s to the 80s, and there was man's traditions passed on, and philosophies passed on. And they didn't get the truth.
Now when they see us, their minds is totally warped by Babylon. You know? Go ahead.
It says, but he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in the Most High.
So it's proven. It's proven that you're all. This is the one thing. This is the one. What does it say in Hebrews 4th chapter? That the word of the Most High is quick and powerful. Basically, discerning the thoughts of the heart, so it reveals truly what you are. Ain't nobody can resist the words of the Heavenly Father, man. Nobody. If you buck up against it,
Well, yeah. No, verse 2 is the one to go down and change. Yeah.
But I got a precept for you.
Go ahead.
This is 2 Chronicles 36 and 16, or 15. It says, "And the Lord power of their fathers sent to them by his messengers, rising up good times and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place."
Yeah, so you had the prophets in the ancient world rising up and going out teaching. The prophets was prophesying back in the ancient world, doing the same thing we doing now. Now, I was on YouTube, and there's over 7 camps right now going live in different states. They all doing the will of the Heavenly Father at the same time right now. That's power, you know? So they got up times. And think about whatever city you see, the elders, the apostles is out. All right, you got the brothers in Atlanta out. You got the brothers in New Jersey out. You got the brothers in DMV out. All right, you got a lot of different brothers out right now. The Chicago brothers is out. They start at 4. One camp start at 12. One camp start at 2. 3. So brothers is going out at these different times, different subscribers, different viewers and followers. Going out be time, which is early in the morning. And really, that early in the morning, it goes back to before the destruction comes too. Be times before the judgment. Okay.
It says, it says, "But they mocked the messengers of the Most High, and despised his words, and misused his prophets, until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people, till there was no remedy." And I even, I made that comment earlier, like, the Lord, has spoken to you up until the very end. You've been warned to the very end of these things, all right? But you, like it says, you misuse the prophets, all right? You despise and mock the messengers of the Lord, because like the brother said, your mind is warped, all right? You've already been, bowed down to the society, this specific paradigm, which is a pattern of living, all right? Now you're stuck in it. Now, you fight against us, man. That's an experiment by Esau itself, man. With the monkeys and banana, you're supposed to naturally, this is what you're naturally supposed to be absorbing. But now you got these monkeys that got beaten, which was you. Someone brings this good message that you're supposed to be eating up, and now you're fighting us because you back from slavery. Jake is still suffering from that. What do they call it? Stockholm syndrome. Yeah, which is really you end up loving your oppressor. Now you absorb it and you hear everything he says. All right, to hell with what the scriptures is telling you, because when you go up in verse again, when it said that the Lord had sent the prophets times because he had compassion. At one point in time, the Lord was bringing this word out because he felt for you. He understood, like, damn, I really fucked my people up. Let me see if I can bring them back. But now you condemn everything. You see this as an extremely irrelevant matter. Very small. That's why, like you were saying, you people, all right, Jakes, you're quick to promote your wickedness. What do they call this shit? I always talk about mukbangs. Just a whole platter full of pork, crab, shellfish, shrimp, and you just eating like a fat ass, man.
All the seafood board.
Yeah, the seafood, the Sunny D and shit. But it said, again, but they mocked the messengers of the Most High and despised his words. They misused, what does it say in Proverbs 13 and 13? He that despises the word of the Most High shall be destroyed. It says, and misused his prophets until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people, even misusing, trying to kill us. Or killing us. All right? Who asked that question in the New Testament? Which of the prophets have you not killed? Was that Stephen? I think. I feel like that was Stephen.
Yeah, it was Stephen.
You know, or Stephen. You know, but it says until the wrath of the Lord Yahweh arose against his people till there was no remedy. So now, the only way that you're going to get this message is when it's too late.
The scriptures say they shall show it after death without pain.
Yeah.
Second Ezra 9th chapter. You know, because it said they loathed his law, meaning they hated it.
It said in Ezekiel the 7th chapter, it said that mischief shall rise upon mischief, and the vision of the prophet shall fail, because when it's too late, that's when you're going to want answers. You ain't going to find us. The Lord, he took us away from you. You had your chance. You know, already probably 1,000 people have already come and gone on the street while we've been out here, man. Hundreds at least. You know, you can hear everything in the background. All these people were in plain sight. Yeah. But there's going to be no remedy in the end.
Yeah, there's shit.
Well, the remedy, you already know, is the pleading of fire. Yeah.
Ain't nothing gonna stop it though.
Exactly, yeah.
Ain't nothing gonna stop it.
Well, it says in 2nd Ezra 6th chapter, what will you do? And you know, when he shall visit, you know, how will you hide your iniquity? Because the Lord, like we said, you know, I think your brother quoted it, the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. And the scriptures tell you, man, that the Lord is going to move everything, heaven and earth, to get to your ass in the time, man. So there ain't no way you can hide.
Jump over the other nation to get to your ass.
Remember Leonidas said, what can you do? You know, ain't nothing you can do, man, about this. You got something? Y'all got something?
Yeah, I got one.
I know the brother wanted precepts. Like in Isaiah, what was that one? Yeah.
John, you brought that on? Okay, God,
Let me get that back in Isaiah 3.
I got the revelation.
This is Isaiah 3, back at 3 and verse 8. It says, for Jerusalem is ruined and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against the Lord, to provoke the eyes of his glory. It even tells you in Baruch that in departing away and lying to the Lord, this is, you know, you'll provoke the Lord. It says, well, think about the word provoke, or no, jealousy of the Lord. The Lord says he is a jealous God, and that's the rage of a man. So you've done a lot. The scriptures say Jacob was treacherous with the Lord. When you look that up, it means like an utter betrayal. So it ain't no light thing. You know, what's that one where it says, like, where have we sinned? Or wherein you say we have sinned, but where have we sinned? Jake still thinks they're guiltless.
I believe so. It's when Ezekiel say, your ways are not fair.
There you go.
Yeah. And he says that Israel have not my ways been fair.
Well, you had there was a court case just recently, man. This Jake, he shot up a couple, you know, a dude and a chick in their car. He was robbing them, and he got caught. And you know, they brought him to court, and he broke down crying, and people started crying for him, but because they gave him life in prison, he started crying. He was trying to say he was sorry, but dude, was that a harsh punishment? No, he killed 2 people. You know, shot one in the head. The dude made it alive, but he ends up dying later. You know. Now you want to feel bad because you see tears, you know, crocodile tears and all that. The Lord can see past that. He knows you ain't sincere. You crying because you got caught. And that's something with our people, man. They're going to cry because they got caught. Like what it say in Proverbs, the 1st chapter? When anguish and destruction shall come upon you as a whirlwind, then shall they call upon me. They're going to cry like little bitches, man. That's why
Everybody believes in the Most High. Everybody believes in God.
Exactly. That's why he even says, call upon thy gods, in whom thou hast trusted. See, they shall arise and save thee.
This is Isaiah 30 and 12. It said, wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despised this word, and trust in oppression and perverseness.
It's all about the word. It's all about the word.
I misheard. This back in Isaiah 30 and 12, it says, wherefore thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon.
Which is speak real, because the brother mentioned it, it's all about the word. That's something wrong with this world. Nobody thinks about the Most High. Nobody knows about the power. You know, I was thinking about the video you did where it said, warn them from me. You know, the world don't know who Yahweh and Yahweh Shai are. You know, that's part of warning you is letting you know who's coming. Who's coming to do this? Jesus? No, it's Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. That's part of the warning. So we're letting you know the thing that you despise the most, who's been speaking this on time, who owns everything, is coming back to judge. He's coming back to destroy.
Because the word, you find out, it says that the word was made flesh. And the word is talking about Yahushua. Now, the scripture says, I come in the volume of the book, it is written of me. So the prophets all were prophesying on the day that Yahushua was going to return. Job said, he said, I will see my Redeemer that liveth. So Enoch spoke about the destruction before the fall. All right, Peter, all the prophets were speaking about the end times. Okay, it told you that Enoch was speaking about the end times. All of the prophets were speaking about the destruction that was supposed to come, and that was going to be orchestrated by Yahushua. So the word that we're giving you is the word of Yahushua. Beginning with, of course, the Father. And remember, it says that I have given them thy word that thou hast given me, and they have kept them. So it's about the words of the scriptures. That everybody said, oh, it's been tampered with, it's the white man wrote the Bible. No, you're gonna find out that a big dark-skinned man with a woolly beard, all right, white hair, white woolly beard, is mad. Red eyes, is mad. All right? That's why he said he's gonna do this alone. In Isaiah 66.
Press one, try the one, press one.
Yeah. All right? They said that up to a horse's bridle. You know how tall a horse is? To get to the bridle? So it's going to be the slain of the Lord shall be many. All right?
Tiny little precept. Ezekiel 7:25 says, destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Because he's nothing but angry. Right? The scriptures tell you that Yahushua, that the day of vengeance is in his heart. You got a lot of people he wants to pay back.
Firstly, who Israelites?
Yeah, exactly.
Start the house of Israel.
But you should have known better, man. In Isaiah, it goes into how it said that this city lodged within righteousness. It had understanding. It had honorable men who knew the law. What happened? Now you're like a cottage of cucumbers? What happened, man?
Second Ezra 2 said they sold it, just broke it down.
What happened is you trust what you're reading. What you're reading, Isaiah 30. Yeah. Isaiah 30. I know we've been transitioning all the way over here. Yeah. You've been pushing me out.
Isaiah 30 and 1 and 2. That's what I had mentioned to him a couple minutes ago before he got it.
But the whole thing about you trusted in something else. Like I said, you should have known better. Jake should have known better, man. You were made to be the best of the people, the best of the ones that could possess understanding. Exactly, the elite. But you wanted to trust in something else. As the brother reading in Isaiah 30.
Right? It's back in Isaiah 30, and I'm going to start at 12 again. It says, wherefore thus said the Holy One of Israel, because ye despised his word, and trust in oppression, and perversity, and stayed thereof. Therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall.
So that's why when the Lord does return, he ain't going to have no mercy. Like I said a minute ago, we don't give a shit about the wicked anymore, man. We used to preach to, the 2/3 in town, hey, it's time to repent, man, get up and this and that, blah, blah, blah. But now all we look for is to, wake up the elect, or to seal it, to get them sealed up.
So it can't steal them and
Right, but still dead. Right.
Well, the scriptures say that he who that wanders out of the way of understanding remains in the congregation of Israel. You try to wake up somebody that's dead, they have no pulse, they ain't getting nothing.
Well, when you go into the account with that young man who wanted to bury his father, I was reading what do you call it, the little an analog and analysis of the scripture. Yeah, a little commentary with that. And it was basically saying that this man wanted to do what profited him first, and then serve the Lord. Like, the way of profit. It even tells you in Psalms that the Lord's gonna laugh at the man who made the things that he trusted. His abundance of love. This is the man that made his.
Oh yeah, I know.
His song. But we use it for Esau. But when you read it, I'll go and find it real quick.
You have the guy get with the man gathered all of his stuff into the barn and said, "Thou fool, you gonna be with me tonight."
Right. This is Psalm 55 and 7. It says, "Lo, this is the man that made not the Most High's strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches and strengthened himself in his wickedness." Now, pursuing the Jake, man, your righteousness, your strength, your trust comes from you too. Y'all see yourselves as goddamn gold, and so because you trust in that perverseness, you trust in what you say, you trust in what the world says, the world feeding you synthetic philosophy and shit. That's why these women are bugged the fuck out and assholes towards men, because they watching, fucking channels that talk about, well, a proper man has 6 figures, provide for her kids, buy her McDonald's meals for her kids, whatever, even if they ain't his kids. Yeah. I see this one Jake in a car, and he's like, "Why should I?" He goes, "What do you want to define as an ideal man?" Well, you got to have money. What, hold him in? I don't even know you. Why am I going to give you money? Well, you're going to get to know me. That's the part. You're going to get, so let's go shopping. And he'll be like, "Get out of my car. Get out of my car." Yeah. But it's because you feeding yourself with all this bullshit that the world is teaching you. You get this shit through a TV, man, a medium. Even medium is what? It's something with exactly, right.
The medium is something that psychologists and psychiatrists hypnotize you.
Exactly.
They use different words and things like that, put you in trance.
Exactly.
And that's why they call it television, or they call they call like the shows and programs.
Right.
Back in the day when commercials used to come on and you watch a movie or something, and then the broadcast will start and they'll say, "Back to your scheduled program." You know what I'm saying?
I love going into that word program, because it actually means to train into a conduct or behavior. So they're training your ass how to act in society.
Be docile.
Exactly. You can't think for yourself because you're hypnotized. But that all comes from trusting the perverseness and staying there upon. So like the scripture again, if you can read it, just to refresh about the reach, ready to fall on it.
This back in Isaiah 30 and 13. It says, "Therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall."
It says an iniquity. What you're doing is iniquity. You're transgressing the Lord and what He said to do. And the Lord don't take lightly to that. So that's why we started out, with the lesson today talking about the chariots and destruction. That's why you're going to be destroyed, man. It's been enough talk. We've warned this place enough, man. Again, rising up early, so there should be no reason or excuse why you couldn't find out a little bit of understanding. All right, that's because you like the way of America. Like I said, it shall be as a breach ready to fall, who's swelling out,
And high wall, walls breaking, come suddenly, at an instant.
That's like, the first scripture I read, you wanted earlier was that 1 Thessalonians 5:1. Because it's going to come as a thief in that time. It's going to come out of nowhere.
And the thing is, we shouldn't need to be told.
Exactly.
Jake wouldn't need to be told what's going on and how the Lord is going to come. If they paid attention.
They watched.
We're the Lord's people. We should know the Lord the most. We should know Him the best. We should know everything about Him. Including what He's going to do when He returns on the earth. But because Jake doesn't understand that, and Jake don't give a damn, they're going to be destroyed. Hosea 4 and 6.
And they shall have no cloak for their sin.
Yeah. I got one real quick. This is Luke chapter 12.
You have
verse 15. No? It says, "And he spake a parable unto them, saying, The ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, What shall I do, because I have no room where to stow my fruits? And he said, This will I do. I will pull down my barns, and I will build greater. And there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. And I will say to my soul, Soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But the Most High said unto him, Thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then who shall these things be, if thou hast provided? Because he didn't stay on the Lord. He stayed on what he could carnally see in a mass. But guess what though? The Lord can take you out at any time. And that's what's going to happen, man. It's going to come as a thief in the night. Everything that Israel has stored up for themselves in society based off of standing upon their oppressors, which is east on the other nations, it's all going to be turned to chaff. It's burnt to a crisp, man. Including themselves.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 5, verses 1. It says, Set not thy heart upon thy goods, and say not, I have enough for my life. Follow not thine own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart. And that's basically what Esau teaches. That's what this whole establishment teaches. You know, they put material gain and goods as the number one thing, the number one accomplishment. The true number one accomplishment is what the bros are, which is abiding in the shadow of the Almighty. That's by, you know, picking up His word, you know, being in that spiritual temple.
The what?
Proverbs 6. All right, it says, and say not, who shall control me for my works? See, and Jake got that the mentality where they, you know, they feel like, you know, they're successful and nobody can say anything to them, nobody can do anything. Yeah, exactly. And that's the mentality that Jake's have. Well, it says, for the Lord is long suffering; He will in no wise let thee go. So the Lord is definitely going to bring that account up. He's going to keep that account, because what it's going to all boil down to this. It says, right? It says, concerning appropriation, be not without fear to add sin unto sin. So appropriation is what pretty much a turning back or repentance somewhat, you know. And so don't add sin unto sin, because Jacob do that, you know. Jacob feels like they in a spot, they good in their life, and they just forget all about the Lord, you know. And it says, the point passed though, for the Lord will surely revenge thy pride. That's the whole point. That's pride.
So Psalm 62, and I'm going to start at 8. It says, trust in Him at all times. Ye people, pour out your heart before Him. The Most High is a refuge for us.
That's right.
Surely men of low degree are vanity, and men of high degree are a lie. To be laid in a balance that are altogether lighter than vanity. Trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery.
Right. I mean, what you see in front of you is this whole way of life is oppression. You gotta work 60, 40, 60, 80 hours just to make ends meet. All right. And hell, the job is like home, and
the home is like,
you know,
a storage for your shit.
You live at your job, and you live at your home. I seen on the internet.
Oh, okay.
But no, like, even at that, like yeah, it's very oppressive, because you just to enjoy like a base luxury, you know, or what do you call it, a base leisure, you got to work your fucking ass off, and then they call it privileges. When that's, you know, you're here, we're here to enjoy the earth, man. You know, but Jake is absorbed.
Pay for your water.
Exactly.
Air.
Everything. You pay for air now because you got the carbon tax now.
They pay for heat. They pay for air conditioning.
Hey, the government going after agriculture. They want to take the farmland away from farmers. So this is oppression. But they trust in it. They trust in the system, like you said earlier. They like it. They like the way the system is being run.
I always like to say my house is like a storage for my shit. I go home just to change my clothes and take a shower. That's it.
Right.
But that's slavery. That shows you it's perpetual slavery.
It say, trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them.
And that's really the behavior we have as far as being pilgrims in this time. You know? That's why we see it. That's why we see it.
That's my second lesson. Whoever ride with me today, that's what we're doing.
You can't. I've been making this comment lately. You can't
serious,
get comfortable in this place and expect to come out of it unscathed, man. Especially if you ain't got the spirit. You ain't got to stand there, man. You're gonna fall victim, because there's always a wicked vibration tethered behind it. It's impossible to find true complacency in America, man, without coming out a fucking demon. You can't, man. We were told to abstain from this life. It talks about lay hold on eternal life, but not trusting in uncertain riches. This place is, we already went into it. It's set up for fire. That's right. It's already being destroyed, man. So you got in Habakkuk where it says, you know, those that labor for very vanity in the fire. You know, that's Jake. These 2/3.
2 14 tells you that the world waxes old.
Exactly. Yeah.
Scriptures tell you that, like, you don't flee from these times. This place will correct us, man.
Exactly.
Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
This place is not our rest. Read that part again.
It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
Now they're not actually physically, mentally. Rise and depart mentally. You know what I'm saying? From this place. You know, don't follow the ways and the trends of the wicked.
It says, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with the sword destruction.
This place is polluted, man. All these different trends, all these different events and stuff like that. This place here is not.
It's embedded in the wickedness. The origin of this place is pure madness.
Well, it's made of root. That's the thing. So, you know, you got something rooted. It's fully buried. You know, it's grounded. That's the foundation of America. You already know how this place was established. All right, and everything that comes out of it, you know, is falling. That's some crazy shit.
Like following this bullshit.
You know how hard they had to work for that shit? Yeah. And they still leasing that shit.
They probably leased the paint job too.
Exactly.
I got a piece of this is Second Ezra, chapter 14, verse 17. It says, for look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. So the older this world gets, the more evil and wicked it's going to get. That's why we need to flee, hasten to flee from these times. Because if not, this place is corruption.
Exactly. That's no. That's why you have in like Wisdom of Solomon, the 4th chapter. It tells you about how Enoch had to be taken out of the world quickly. You know, Yahushua got taken out of the world quickly. Certain of the prophets were taken out of the world quickly. Abel. Abel. You know, his name meant transitory, which meant temporary. You know, this world will, like the brother's going into, will corrupt you, man. Any much too longer here, and it says that the bewitching of anonymous will obscure the things that are honest. You know, it had Yahushua been here any longer, man, he could have, you know, became, you know, well, now I've gotten comfortable here. I want to be with the prophets more, man. You know, Lord, let me be here a little bit longer.
What happened to him when he was silent? He got corrupted.
Exactly.
And here, I got 7 of them.
It says, verse 18, it says, for the truth is fled far away, and leasing is hard at hand.
But leasing goes into lies. And that's all this devil's whole intentions is deception. And his whole intent is deception and deceiving. You know?
There was a quote made about Esau. I still can't find who was the one that said it, but they were talking about the white man. They said, don't let this man loose, because if you do, he'll use his liberty to deceive. That's why Esau's going to get the destruction and the judgment he's going to get in the future to come. You can't give this man wiggle room, otherwise this is what you get.
It says,
the nation.
It says, for now hasted the vision to come, which thou hast seen. And that vision is the vision of destruction that we're talking about, man. We've seen it. That's why we're telling it to you.
The coming of the Lord.
This is Proverbs 11 and 4. Earlier. Proverbs 11.
I quoted.
Yeah. It says, righteous profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death.
So while Jake is trying to store the goods, right, get a bad bitch, you know, make some payment plans, have some good lobster and all that, that ain't gonna profit you when Yahushua comes. Go ahead.
Well, look what everybody doing. Everybody's talking about you got 5 things that you need to do before the economy crashes.
Right.
Store up food. First they're saying get going to crypto, get your gold and your silver, and then stockpile on goods. That's not going to save you. I mean, in a world that, how can I say it? It's not going to happen in this world, because the only thing that's going to get you by is spirituality. Your ties to Yahweh shine.
Okay. It says that riches corrupt. So to corrupt means to become willingly dishonest. This place will make you willingly wicked. Right?
It says the righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. People are going to be falling to their own devices. And the Lord said simply He's going to lead people to their own devices. You know?
The heart is
the righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness.
That's why we, the elect, have hope in what's coming. Yeah, we speak this message of great fear and trembling with this. What is that? With Jacob's trouble, I have heard a voice of trembling and fear. You know, we are bold as we speak this message because we have hope, because our conversation is upright. We're doing what the Lord commanded us to do, which is come out here to warn the people. What did Ezekiel said? I commanded as I was. He said, I preached as I was commanded. What did David say? I believe, therefore have I spoken. So we're doing what the Lord is telling us to do, to be protected from what the brother's reading. All right, the day of wrath, the day of destruction. So, you know, to take this thing as serious as possible is very important to you. All right.
It says, when a wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish, and the hope of unjust men shall perish.
You thought, again, like you thought these rich, you said crypto. When you look at the government right now, they're having a war against crypto right now. All right.
Yeah, trying to centralize.
Yeah, your expectation, your outlook for a good ending, it's not going to come. Again, when I read in Ezekiel, it said, destruction cometh, they shall see peace and find none. That's all that's coming, man. It's rotted in this place.
That's why Israel's far gone. The Lord said, pray not for these people, because he got something in store for them.
It says, the righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead. So the wicked trades places with the righteous. So if there's some type of judgment happen or something going on, the righteous will be saved out of that, and the wicked will replace them. They get destroyed. You know?
This is Mark 13:20. It says, except that the Lord has shortened those days, no flesh should be saved, but for the elect's sake, whom he have chosen, he have shortened the days. So the Lord has chosen the elect, right? So the Lord shortened the days for the elect salvation.
You said it, like I said earlier, the reason why that's happening though is because of how much more wicked it's going to get day by day. It's going to get more corrupt, more defiled, man. They had this thing about Target, I think. They put up a Satan mannequin for like 2-year-olds, I believe, like infants' clothing, you know. And it's Baphomet with the horns, man. He's red. He's wearing a purple shirt, you know. They're openly doing this shit, man, and trying to get the people to accept it. You know,
It's the ultimate disrespect. It's the ultimate disrespect. We live in where signs up, man. It's the ultimate disrespect. They don't get no worse than that. They're going after your kids. They're trying to take your rights away from your children. You know, it's the ultimate wicked.
why do you think the Lord is coming the way He's coming? In a vicious, unmerciful way.
Precept. This is 2 Ezra 9 and 19. Well, you know what, I'm going to start up in verse.
Get Matthew, where it say the tribes of the earth is in the Lord. Well, you got it. You got it. I think 25.
Yeah, I'll get it. You read that. This is 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 16. Like as a wave is greater than a drop, and he answered me, saying, like as the field is, so is also the seed. As the flowers be, such are the colors also, such as the workman is, such also is the work. And as the husbandman is himself, so is the husbandman. So is his husbandry. Also, for it was the time of the world. And now, when I prepared the world, which was not yet made, even for them to dwell in that now live, no man spake against me. Verse 19, for then everyone obeyed, but now the manners of them which are created in this world that is made are corrupted by a perpetual seed. Okay? And it says, and by a law which is unsearchable, rid themselves. In Isaiah 24 goes into them how they, change the laws, change the covenant, and that curse came upon them. But that perpetual seed is dealing with Esau. It's dealing with the wicked. The whole world, the manners of the world have been corrupted through Esau, and it started with his in the Greek Empire. All right, that's when wickedness. The scripture say in First Maccabees, that's when wickedness starts to increase upon earth. But through these men, through the seed of Edom. Okay.
Yeah, and then in the Renaissance period.
Yeah.
That's when it really flourished.
Yep.
Because through the Renaissance period, Revelation 20th chapter, it said that that they deceived the earth. Get that real quick. Yeah, that they deceived the nations on the four corners. When they came out during the mid 1600s, 15, what is it? It's 1600s.
Yeah, they changed a lot.
So from the Renaissance period to rebirth, Esau was able to deceive the whole world with his way of thinking.
Yeah, because you had things like the Bible destruction group,
Yep.
which came in the 1800s.
Yep.
You had the Immaculate Conception that came in 1854. All right, a little bit, but it's post. Yeah, it's post iconoclasm.
Yeah.
The brothers going into, and then the false narrative of white, black, that all started coming in too.
Yep.
And I think that's during the time when they took King James out the picture. During the time of Sir Edward Young told they said King James
Yeah, but that was before. That's later. That time period. That's later.
But during his time, during King James' time, that's when Esau was getting in there too.
Yeah, when Esau was getting in. I'm talking about when they fully took over. The Renaissance period, when they fully took over.
Yeah. This is Revelation chapter 20, verse 2. It says, "And he laid hold on a dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years."
Yeah, it's something about Esau Edom. They was bound 1,000 years. After the Holy Roman Empire, then after the pagan Roman Empire, then became the Holy Roman Empire, or known as the Byzantine Empire, 1325. All right.
About 325.
Yeah. 13. Yeah, 325, 24, whatever, around that area to 13. Go ahead.
That's Constantine.
That's what. Constantine came. Yep. Go ahead.
It says, "And cast him into the bottomless pit,
Which is captivity, slavery.
and shut him up, and set a seal upon him,
Right.
that he should deceive the nations no more."
Yeah, because he was deceiving the nations at that time through the Roman Empire. Okay, the Greek Empire. All right.
It says, "Till the 1,000 years to be fulfilled."
And now the 1,000 years was fulfilled through prophecy. Now, what did the Lord use? He used the bubonic and pneumonic plague to take out the Israelites. See, it was always plagues to take us out. And that was a supernatural thing, because that was a deadly virus that was going throughout Europe.
Never been replicated either. Never came back.
You know, well, Esau has made his intro to it, because going back 15, 20 years ago, they went back into Europe and they started to dig up the soil. Dig up the soil of the bubonic plague. So they got it patented, they got it in the CDC somewhere. So when you see a lot of people start dropping dead, that plague may come back through Esau. Go ahead.
It says, "And after that, he must be loosed a little season." Then this is Revelation chapter 13.
And we're in that season right now.
Yep.
Verse 3. It says, "And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed.
And that's the Roman Empire.
And all the world wondered after the beast, and they worshipped."
When you jump to?
Revelation 13.
No. Go back to Revelation 20. Yeah.
Okay, keep going. Kind of slide.
Yeah.
Verse 4. It said, Revelation 24, it says, "And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them."
Yeah, so this jumped into the future. See, Revelation 20, it goes from the ancient world to the future, to the ancient world to the future. You got to be able to understand and catch it. Go ahead, read that again.
"And judgment was given unto them.
Right?
And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua."
Now, this is talking about the future. The souls of them that would be headed for the testimony, which is the prophets. Some of the prophets may get put to death. All right, because we have something called, Esau, the microchip. And if you take that C-hip, you're going to be destroyed by Yahushua. But see, if you don't take it, Esau is going to try to kill you. You know? So I'd rather
not taken to be destroyed, you know, kill a body. Like Yahushua said, don't fear man that can touch the body, but those that can, cast the
soul into oblivion.
Yeah, cast the soul into everlasting fire. You know. But go ahead.
It says, and for the word of the Most High, and which had not.
So how could you get beheaded for sin? Sin was already on the earth. You're gonna get beheaded if you take the mark of the beast. Read that part again.
It says,
you ain't getting beheaded for committing adultery in America. You're not getting beheaded for being a Mo in America. What the fuck you talking about? How is it sin? How could it be sin when America is already
giving over to sin?
When America's already passing laws that man and woman can be together. Man and beast can be together. That's the sin. Ain't nobody getting their heads fucking chopped off because of that.
Getting celebrated.
That's getting celebrated. So you gotta explain that. You gotta explain that, man.
Because it's kind of confusing. If you think about it, is Esau the one going to be putting people to death because of sin?
He is the man of sin.
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of don't make sense. It don't make sense at all.
Why would he? Go ahead.
It says, Revelation 24 says, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua.
Go ahead.
And for the word of the Most High.
Go ahead.
And which had not worshipped the beast.
Yep.
Neither his image.
Yep. So they wasn't a part of this system. Neither was they took the mark of the system. You know. Go ahead.
Neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands.
Right.
And they lived and reigned with Yahushua 1,000 years.
Yep. And those that make it gonna reign with Yahushua 1,000 years, which ain't a literal 1,000. All right. It's really eternity. Forever. Go ahead. Keep going.
It says, but the rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years are finished.
Yeah, and the dead is talking about the nations, the other nations outside of Edom. All right, they said that they're gonna live again after their 1,000 years. All right, meaning when they serve slavery, they're gonna go back into their own little corner, so to speak, and they're gonna do their thing, give tribute.
This is the first resurrection.
Right.
Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection.
Yeah, the elect. See, you don't want to take part of the second death. All right? You don't want to take part of that. You want to be a part of the first resurrection, meaning the first fruits. The first fruits is given unto the Lord. All right? The first fruits is always holy and separate and special. Go ahead.
It says, and on such the second death hath no power.
Yep, and the second death having no power is talking about the thermonuclear missiles. All right, get the missiles on.
But that's
the second death. All right, meaning the elect is going to be shielded by the chariots when those nuclear missiles get shot off. When you go in Revelation 15, it speaks about the glass, the sea mingled with fire. That means the elect is going to be protected by the chariots, and they're going to be in the midst of the fire as they get beamed up. That's scarcely saved. All right, go ahead.
It says, but they shall be priests of the Most High and of Yahushua, and shall reign with him 1,000 years.
Yep.
And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison.
Yeah, this is going into it's going back into time now. Satan being loosed out of his prison is talking about 1325 during the Renaissance period. Rodrigo Borgia, around that time period. All right. When Spain, now it tells you in the Borgia family, in the TV show, you probably got to do some more research on it, actually watching it. I mean, reading the history of Rodrigo Borgia. What he did was he manipulated the papacy to get the crown through extortion, through murder, through robbery. That was Rodrigo Borgia, the father of Cesare or Caesar Borgia, and he got it through deceit. Okay. He got it through deceit. Another name for him was Pope Alexander VI.
So that's the time period when they begin to Satan being loosed. Because even in the TV show, it was still some jakes around, the Goths and some of the Celts and shit. He was sending them, the Franks, he was sending them to the areas where the plague was at so they can die off. Because he was taking on the throne. You know, he was paying people off, extorting, doing all type of manner of wickedness. You know? And through that beginning stage of the Renaissance period is where that image of the known Leonardo da Vinci's image, the picture of the new Messiah, so to speak, the other Jesus. That's where that came from.
It was drawn by Michelangelo.
Yep.
Oh yeah, here, let me get this one.
You actually can Google that, it'll tell you. It literally have it right underneath his picture.
Yep.
This is Job.
Actually, you know what? Get the other one. Is the other one over there?
Are you talking about the with the history on it?
Yeah. Yeah, get that one. Yeah, get the one with the history on it. Bible shot.
It's gonna be on a double folded one.
Yep. Yeah, you whatever you got out.
Job chapter 9, verse 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
That's it.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
Yep.
If not, where and who is it?
Yeah, that was the beginning of the Renaissance period. The earth is given. That's when the earth was given into the hand of the wicked.
Speaking the great things against God, Revelation 13.
Yep.
Started.
7. Daniel 7.
Because it was working in Esau's favor. Esau wasn't getting stopped by these things he was doing. The false images, the iconoclasm, covering up the images of the saints, the
Yep.
apostles.
Yep.
Having his way, and he was, and again, the deceit was working.
Yep.
Riding with them.
That's
Yep.
blasphemy of the Holy Spirit.
Exactly. Blaspheming against God.
Yep.
There you go.
Damn, you more hooded than the niggas, bitch.
Yes, man.
What the fuck you looking at, bitch? Go ahead. Read that Job 9:24 again.
Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Uh-huh.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
Yep.
If not, where and who is he?
Yeah, so what they did was do iconoclasm, which means what? Destroying an image. Iconoclasm.
Whitewash.
Defacing, but what's the term? Iconoclast. It means
Icon, image, and class is
defacing,
destroy, yeah.
destroying an image. Okay? So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, beginning with the Most High and His Son, the holy angels, and then the children of Israel. Okay? Because remember, simultaneously, what was happening, Cristobal Colon was on his way to the New World. So they brought in Roman Catholicism or Christianity. All right? So simultaneously, all at this time, and then who they get first? They got the Northern Kingdom first. That was the beginning of the tribes being taken down by the way of the Northern Kingdom. That's why they're sending the Northern Kingdom back over here. It's always going to start with the Northern Kingdom, man. A lot of stuff always begins with the Northern Kingdom. The immigrants and all that, they bring in the Manasseh, they're bringing the Dominicans over here, they're bringing all these different immigrants from different areas over here. For a psyop, you know, they're going to use them. Go ahead, Al.
This is 1 Maccabees chapter 3, verses 48. It says, and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
And that's what they did. Go ahead. And this is dealing with Ptolemy Soter. Okay, that's where they get Savior from, because he was to be an image of the Messiah. Or not the Messiah, but an image of God.
Soter means savior.
It means Savior. Ptolemy Soter, which is Savior. All right, who his father, all right, he got the whatever you want to call them people to paint the images and shit.
Oh, the sculptors.
Yeah. To erect Serapis Christus, which is the god with the flower on his pot, with the flower pot head.
It's a mixture of apes and bull.
Yeah, pot head ass. You know, in Agora they was gunning his ass on Agora. Yeah, the god that got the flower pot on his head,
I got that.
which is Serapis Christus. And that's how you know we back at this time, because what happened with Rome, they said the disturbance at Christus, that's why they kicked Jake out of the cities because we're defacing and breaking down the lies by the way of the religion.
That's what Paul was doing. Paul was breaking down the lies of Diana, God's agriculture. They tried to kill him.
Yep. In Ephesus.
It's like I said, Serapis Christus, Apis the bull and Molech.
Apis the bull and Molech is the depiction of the Egypt goddess. I mean,
Serapis Christus. Yeah.
Serapis Christos is the images of those two deities of Egypt. Yep. Go ahead.
First Maccabees 3 and 48 again, it says, and laid open the book of the law wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. They brought also the priests' garments and the first fruits and the tithes or tights, and the Nazarites they stirred up, who had accomplished their days. Then cried they with a loud voice toward heaven, saying, what shall we do with these, and whither shall we carry them away? For thy sanctuary is trodden down and profane, and thy priests are in heaviness and brought low. And lo, the heathen are assembled together against us to destroy us. What things they imagine against us, thou knowest. How shall we be able to stand against them, except thou, O God, be our help?
That's it. And that was always Jake's understanding. We need the Most High to help us throughout all our situations. You know? But anybody got something else? We're going to close out in a couple of more precepts.
This is
Because it's, what time is it? Yeah.
Wisdom Solomon chapter 14, and I'm going to start at 8. It says, that which is made with hands is cursed, as well it as he that made it. He because he made it, and it because being corruptible, it was called God, called the Most High. So the idols are cursed, and he created the idols are cursed. It says, for the ungodly and the ungodliness are both alike hateful unto the Most High. For that which is made shall be punished together with him that made it. For when the Lord comes to visit you upon your idols, society will be destroyed as a whole too. Not only him that worships it, but him that is created. It says, so when you look at these idols, especially this Cesare Borgia idol, these people are going to be destroyed because of the worship thereof. It says, therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation. Because in the creature of the Most High, they are become an abomination, and stumbling blocks to the souls of men, and a snare to the feet of the unwise.
If you look at with the Northern Kingdom, you know, that was a huge stumbling block. Man. The image of Jesus, Serapis Christos,
Mary,
hella stumbling blocks, man. I mean, it tells you, man, they drowned in it. You know, I think it's like Hosea, the 12th chapter goes into all about Ephraim doing some whack shit with this, man. Like
that's the idols.
Yeah.
It says, for the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life. And like the brother was going into corruption earlier, if something's corrupted, that means you're willingly accepting something dishonest. You know, so Jake willingly accepted being rebellion against the Most High.
Willingly accepted oppression, perverseness. It did come to where Esau, when he came, like the Christopher Colon, and when they started coming over in the earlier, like the 1400s, not the 80 something. You know, these Edomites were calling themselves Christians, and the Northern Kingdom would identify them as the Christians, and they would come and they would beat the shit out of Jake to where Jake would when Esau would come and visit, you know, they would make their journey, they'd have to prepare like gold for Esau, under the fear that Esau would just beat their ass for no reason. And even if they gave up a tribute or a gift of a great gold, Esau would kill him and then take more gold. You know, but that's why they submitted, because they said, let us be friends with their God so they don't kill us. And Esau didn't give a fuck, man. He just wanted to come and take the gold and take Jake.
It says, for neither were they from the beginning, nor shall they be forever. It says, for by the vain glory of men they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end. So all the idols of witchcraft are going to be cut off.
But I believe in that chapter was about Ptolemy, right?
Yeah.
That's the reason why you read it. Yeah. So,
idolatry.
If not, then so with that, Lord willing, this live has been edifying to you. I tuned in. All right, we'll give all praise, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakurash.
Baba Ball.
Baba Ball.